You are sitting down with a book, scanning the lines, and eventually flipping the page. Then, suddenly, you realize you have no idea what you just read. Your eyes processed the text, but your brain didn't record a single piece of information. It's the same experience as highway hypnosis. You get in your car, hit the road, and the next thing you know, you're pulling into your driveway with no memory of the actual journey. You are operating entirely on autopilot. We've been conditioned from a young age to view these moments as a problem. Teachers and parents tell us to stop daydreaming and pay attention, which often leaves us with persistent feelings of inadequacy whenever our focus slips. However, recent research suggests that this mental drift is actually a built-in biological mechanism. Instead of a lapse in discipline, it appears to be a specific state of brain function with its own set of rules. When you zone out, your brain is not powering down or going idle. It is actively redirecting its energy away from the outside world. This illuminates the default mode network, a web of internal nodes that takes over when we stop focusing externally. This network generates thought internally, pulling from past memories and future projections to create a mental landscape completely independent of our surroundings. This makes zoning out a neutral biological tool. Its value depends entirely on the environment you're in and the specific nature of your thoughts. One major trigger for this shift is cognitive fatigue. When you spend a workday making constant decisions or processing complex information, your brain's available resources eventually run dry. To prevent total overload, the brain initiates a physiological reset known as perceptual decoupling. It intentionally dulls your connection to external stimuli, helping to force a period of stabilization. Researchers at MIT have found that this process involves a synchronized slowing of the cardiovascular system and neural waves. These changes actually begin several seconds before you are consciously aware that your focus has faded. This forced micro-rest allows the brain to preserve long-term cognitive health, using the lapse to stabilize its internal environment. But this protective mechanism becomes a liability in the wrong context. Zoning out during a high-stakes task often happens without meta-awareness, meaning you don't even realize your attention has dropped until a critical error occurs. The content of these thoughts also matters. If the mind drifts into a loop of unresolved arguments or persistent anxieties, it can devolve into depressive rumination, which weighs on your mood rather than refreshing it. It is also important to distinguish this from clinical dissociation. While zoning out is a brief lapse, dissociation is a deeper, trauma-induced response where the world can feel unreal or distorted for extended periods. When mind wandering occurs in dangerous environments or fixates on negative emotional loops, it results in measurable psychological distress. The benefits of mind wandering emerge when you have good context. This means letting your thoughts drift while you are performing safe, mundane physical tasks that require very little cognitive effort. This allows for freely moving thoughts, an internal state where ideas jump spontaneously between future plans to creative fantasies and abstract concepts. Research hosted by Trinity College suggests that this unconstrained processing frees up cognitive resources. It serves as a biological incubator for breakthrough insights that wouldn't surface during intense, narrow focus. When paired with a safe physical baseline, the wandering mind operates as a tool for creative problem solving. Managing attention requires a framework called context regulation. Plot your environment on one axis and the nature of your thoughts on the other. You reach optimal cognitive health by spending time in the low-stakes, free-thinking quadrant, where your brain safely recharges and generates new ideas. If you need to snap back to the present, you can use the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. Identify 5 things you see, 4 you can touch, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you can taste. Mindfulness doesn't prevent your mind from wandering, but it strengthens your meta-awareness. It gives you the ability to recognize when you've drifted at an inopportune time, so you can pull your focus back. Modern habits often prevent this natural reset. When we fill every spare second with digital information, we deny the brain the idle time it needs to transition into the default mode network. Try leaving your phone in another room while you do a simple chore. Intentionally give your mind permission to roam without a specific destination. The human mind is designed to wander. By building safe spaces for daydreaming into our daily routines, we allow the brain to function exactly as it was meant to. If you enjoyed exploring the science of attention, please like and subscribe for more. Comment below with your favorite way to daydream, and we'll see you next time.